Hey, what's happening, y'all? It's me coming back at you again with another vid. Now, before I get into the topic of this video, I have to address one thing that I overheard. All right, now, some individual, a character, actually, I'll call him that. A character made a video, and and he had a live hangout, and one of the guys named Golden Glory, the guy keeps trolling my channel because he's a Sean Newton fan. Golden Glory 79 asked a question that said that I hope Dan gets on your hangout so he can embarrass himself. And there's a guy, low play said that, well, Dan shouldn't because he already knows that Andre Ward's a dirty fighter. But don't quote me on that. I think he admit that he was a dirty fighter. I never said that Andre Ward was a dirty fighter. Okay, let's make this clear. All right, I said that Andre Ward has a style that seems to be very rugged by some people. Okay, and let me explain that. All right. Andre Ward's goal, his fighting style, is to put not only pressure on you as the opposing fighter, but what he also does is that he gets inside, he smothers you, so that way you cannot get leverage on your punches. Because if you can't get leverage on your shots, you cannot generate any power in the punches. That's what he did to Carl Froch. That's what he did to Miguel Kessler. That's what he did to Alan Green, Edison Miranda, amongst others. Okay, he took away their best weapons by smothering them, so that way they cannot get their shots off. And he was able to outstrength them during the middle of the, to outmuscle them in the clinches. Somewhat what he did to Kovalev in the first fight after he got knocked down. He was able to create some distance and then get inside and smother Kovalev's punches, because Kovalev cannot generate any power without without extending his arms, whatnot. He cannot generate any power when he gets his punches smothered. So that's what Andre Ward does. Okay, when you're up close in the middle of the clinches in a situation like that, headbutts are going to happen. Okay, and I'm hearing this talk about Andre Ward always deliberately headbutt guys in fights. No, that's not true. The only fight that some people always bring up is the Miguel Kessler fight. I've watched that fight so many times. Okay, I can tell you this: I did not see any deliberate headbutts in that fight. Okay, all I'm saying is that the head clashes occur when fighters fight up close. Okay, I can give an example with the Andrew Lewis and Ricardo Mayorga, the first fight. When they were fighting up close, the headbutt occurred, and that's why that fight was called no contest in the second round, I believe. All right, headbutts is going to happen. I can go back further than that. When people fight up close, when they're trying to jostle for position, and when they're fighting in the inside. Okay, so yes, I don't believe Andre Ward is a dirty fighter, because I keep hearing that all his fights that he engages, all his fights, or his big fights as you want to call it, there's some type of dirty fighting going on. No, that's not the case. Other than the Edwin Rodriguez and the Miguel Kessler fight that people keep bringing up, that there was some type of roughhouse tactics that was going on. That was not always solely on Andre Ward. If you know Edwin Rodriguez, when he fought, he's the guy who initiated the dirty tactics. All right, earlier on the fight, and then then the fight was fought clean after that, obviously. Other than that one and the Sakio Bika fight, what other fights that Andre Ward's had that were big people claim that he was fighting dirty? There was no other fight. So and now they're gonna bring up the Sergey Kovalev, the second fight. I don't know if people are blind or they don't understand, the referee's rules of what's his name? Tony Weeks. All right, Tony Weeks, I have made it clear. I keep repeating myself, but people always like to distort the truth. Tony Weeks had specifically said that Kovalev trunks were so high above his navel, but the punch on the belt line where Ward was targeting is good. How many times do we have to repeat this? But no, people want to negate that because they despise Andre Ward so much. Okay, he did not low below Kovalev. I don't know why guys keep saying that. He did not. I've looked at that replay over and over and over and over again. Okay, Roy Jones would disagree with you guys on that. Okay, because he said himself that the punches were good. That the only thing that was questionable was the stoppage. All right, so yes, I agree that stoppage was very premature. I felt that Kovalev should at least have gotten a 10 count, but Tony Weeks didn't give him a 10 count. So I felt that stoppage was premature. But at the same time, Kovalev never complained about it until, of course, his manager and his promoter put him up to start complaining. Yeah, so it is what it is. So I just wanted to get my 2 cents out on that. Okay, but if we're gonna keep playing on this dirty fighter stuff because of the despise of a one fighter, I mean, I could go back to Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson was notorious for using elbows against his guys in his heyday as a heavyweight. But do we call Mike Tyson a dirty fighter? No. Okay, Felix Trinidad was notorious for low blowing guys when he was in trouble in fights, like Fernando Vargas and David Reed, for example. But do we call Felix Trinidad a dirty fighter? No. Okay, So Muhammad Ali, now correct me if I'm wrong here. Now Muhammad Ali was notorious for rabbit punching guys early in his career. But do we call Muhammad Ali a dirty fighter? No. So George Foreman, notorious for punching guys and pushing them out of the way so he can create distance. Do we call George Foreman a dirty fighter? No. So my point is that why does Andre Ward get singled out here? I don't understand that. I really don't. So the point I'm trying to make is when you're in a combative sport such as boxing, yes, I want to see guys fight within the rules, but at the same time, you're gonna see dirty roughhouse tactics that's gonna occur in fights. So if you're the opposing fighter, you gotta do something about that. You gotta negate that. All right. So it is what it is. And not saying that Andre Ward is a dirty fighter. Let's not repeat. He's not a dirty fighter. He just has a rough style that's perceived to be dirty. That's what it is. And it's, perception is always the illusion, as I always call it. It creates some type of illusion to some people, but it is what it is. Now, anyways, on to the meat of this video. Antonio Margarito got some fight tonight against Carson Jones in Mexico, right? In Mexico City, I think. Now, Margarito has called out Miguel Cotto for a third fight for a rubber match, okay? He said, this is what he said, quote, "I repeat, I will win on Saturday." Okay, he made this comment a day or 2 days before the fight. "I will win on Saturday. Now, it'll be a great fight, and then I will be a great fight pertaining to Carson Jones, and then I will ask Miguel Cotto because I want to retire him on December. That rivalry between he and I is not over. Now, he punches like a girl. He knows that he was assisted in the second fight. So right now, my focus is on Carson Jones." End quote. I don't know. Antonio Margarito is either delusional or he really got punched in the head way too much, okay? Which is very obvious. So Antonio Margarito says that Miguel Cotto punches like a girl. Okay, well, Miguel, he can say that all he wants to, but Antonio Margarito has a style that, he has an incredible chin, no question about it. He has a great chin, like it's still as concrete. But the thing about Antonio Margarito is that he doesn't care if he gets bashed or not, if he gets hurt. He's going to keep coming forward. He's going to keep applying pressure on you, showing you no respect in fights. He's going to keep coming forward, and he's going to try to break you down and wear you down. But it's fair to say that Antonio Margarito, based off some type of photographic evidence shown by Miguel Cotto in their face-off for their leading up to their second fight, Antonio Margarito had some type of red residue that was leaking from his hand wraps after the fight. And that could have been a determination of plasters that he was trying to use against Shane Mosley. So it could be argued that he used those same type of plasters to batter and destroy Miguel Cotto in the first fight, which nearly ended his career, nearly killed him, I should say. So for Antonio Margarito to sit there and say that he punches like a girl, he's just mistaken. Okay, he took some monster shots against Miguel Cotto in their second fight. So yeah, I think Antonio Margarito is being very delusional if he thinks that Miguel Cotto did not hurt him. Okay, yes, aside from the eye injury and all that stuff that occurred in the Pacquiao fight, and from my understanding, Margarito even said that Pacquiao didn't hurt him in that fight. Bullshit. Okay, so with that said, yeah, he's being very delusional here if he thinks that Miguel Cotto didn't hurt him in the second fight, in the rematch, and he's delusional to think that Miguel Cotto is even going to give him a third fight. I think Miguel Cotto might give him a third fight if Margarito can get a license, because there ain't no way in hell Miguel Cotto is going to go to Mexico City and fight him there. Probably not. Who knows? That Antonio Margarito, he's being delusional here, and from my election, isn't Miguel Cotto the reason why he retired the first time, Antonio Margarito? Yeah, Miguel Cotto was the guy who put you in retirement. So let's not get it twisted. So that doctors, he can't get a permit to fight here in the States because of the his eye situation. So yeah, or a license to fight, I should say. So anyways, oh, didn't know what happened there. So anyways, yeah, that concludes my video. So basically a two-part video, me addressing the Andre Ward dirty fighter situation and Antonio Margarito calling out Miguel Cotto. And so yeah, guys, so if you guys want to talk about dirty fighters, I suggest you look up Mysterious Billy Smith and Sandy Sadler, okay? Because those guys were notoriously dirty for their fights, notoriously. use dirty tactics for majority of their fights in their career. So take a look at those guys, and you know exactly who I'm talking about. You exactly know what I'm coming from on this situation. So yeah, let me know what your thoughts about this. I'm out.